What are the top 3 most influential books on your life? What were the top 3 most influential books you read?
The 3 books I felt like these were mountains I had climbed. Definitely Tolstoy's War and Peace, Marx's Capital, Karl Marx's Das Kapital, and I would say the third one, which was the most influential, was John Stuart Mill's On Liberty.
And these kind of revealed certain realities and perspectives of the world, but also taught you how to think about the world, and also brought new definitions and lexicon into your language.
I think it did all those things.
All of those things?
It did all those things. A book, first of all, can be just completing it. It's an intellectual challenge. Marx's Capital is very difficult. It's a very difficult book.
How many pages is it? So big.
It's probably around 1,000 pages.
Got you.
And I read the first volume 3 times, and I read the second and third volume. Each of them I read twice. And that was a real feeling of an intellectual conquest, if you can call it that, like reaching the top of Mount Kilimanjaro.
Cool.
So that was an intellectual context. Tolstoy's War and Peace told you his ability to create characters who contemplate the great questions of life. And watching these characters, who are really in effect Tolstoy, trying to wrestle with the meaning of life, the purpose of life.
The perennial questions.
The perennial questions. And John Stuart Mill opened my eyes to the correct way to search for truth. First of all, to set truth as your goal, and secondly, to establish the prerequisites if you want to reach truth. What are the prerequisites? And basically Mill says, I mean, it's a complex book, but essay, but the full, frequent, and fearless open discussion of ideas.
And the positive reinforcement of eccentricity as well.
There are many things. There are many aspects of the book. I can quote. You know how many times I've read On Liberty? I've read it more times than there are hairs in your head at this point. Yeah. I keep rereading it, keep learning new things. It really forced me to confront everything I had done wrong.
Interesting. Wow. Really? Okay. Can you give the name of that book title again?
John Stuart Mill, On Liberty.
On Liberty. Okay. Would you recommend these same 3 books to every young mind out here interested in adopting how best to search and reach for truth?
I would recommend Marx's Capital only because it's a difficult book, and I feel like its range is narrower. War and Peace, War and Peace deals with, as you put it nicely, the perennial questions in life. Mill deals with truth. How do you pursue it? How do you achieve it? Marx, it's an indictment of the capitalist system. It's a little narrower.
It's a bit more obsolete in a sense.
I don't feel it's obsolete, but many people do.
Gotcha.
Many people do.
What are 3 books citizens of this nation need to read right now to do their part in improving communities and society at large?
I don't keep up with current literature, to be perfectly honest.
Any 3 books?
The older I get, the more I look back. I want to read more classics as the older I get. So I can't give you. I mean, it's an important question. Certainly, any book by Ralph Nader is going to be illuminating.
Cool.
But I can't really answer that question in a way that I think is satisfying. As I said, I'm more, the older I get, the more I'm interested in the classics. If you were to ask me, what's on your agenda? I would say I would like to read more of W.E. Du Bois. I would like to read more of Frederick Douglass. I'd like to read the abolitionist thinkers of the early 19th century, those who confronted the big problem of their day, slavery, and how they went about trying to end the system of slavery. I'm more interested in that. I like eloquent language, and I think it's absent from most of what you read today because people don't have that kind of firm grasp on the English language anymore. Either they don't read very much, or what they do read is tweets.
Gotcha.
So,
what are your thoughts on museums? Do you like to go to museums?
I wish. Look, these are all things which I regret I missed out on in life. But it's hard for me. I tend to be a little bit more on the cerebral side. So let's say if I went to a museum, I can't really appreciate it unless I know the background, the context. Why is this important? What is unique about it? I need to know all that, and I don't know it.
My point is, though, a lot of the things that you are interested in, there are exhibits in Washington, D.C. at their museums there, and New York City.
There are, yes.
So keeping up with the exhibits and then going to those.
You know, somebody wanted me to go to the Homer Winslow exhibition at the Metropolitan Museum in Boston and said it was really terrific. And actually, I was interested in seeing it. But, you know, for me, a painting on the wall doesn't mean all that much unless I know more about its context, what makes it special, what is unique.
The time and the author's mentality.
Right, exactly. So...
How about, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Are these museums honest in their portrayance of the material of the exhibits? Or is there political correctness and ulterior motivated agendas attached? Because a lot of these are funded by
totally
millionaires
right.
and billionaires, yeah.
Politically correct millionaires and billionaires.
Yeah.
You know, cancel culture millionaires and billionaires.
All right, what 3 books would you recommend a person read complementary to your new book that you've written?
I would say read Frederick Douglass, any collection of Frederick Douglass's speeches. I think that's very worthwhile.
Okay.
Read, what would I recommend from Du Bois? Read something by Du Bois. I can't. You know what I loved? I loved his second published work from 1899, The Philadelphia Negro. It's a work of art. It's just so beautifully composed, so elegant. I would recommend The Philadelphia Negro. What else would I recommend based on what I read for this book? I read an awful lot. What else would I recommend? I'm not sure.
Okay. And then, do you have any thoughts on Elon Musk? Mars exploration, how that might change the paradigm maybe if...
I don't know anything about Elon Musk.
Okay.
It sounds like a perfume, a male cologne.
That's true. Have you heard of John E. Mack, Harvard psychiatrist, Pulitzer Prize winner, author of the book something T.E. Lawrence, on T.E. Lawrence? You never heard of John Mack? Okay. Interesting. We won't get into that right now. All right. To use a question posed by Peter Thiel to candidates he considers hiring. You know who Peter Thiel is? You must know. All right. What is something you believe or know to be true that no one else believes is true?
What do I believe to be true that nobody else believes is true? Can't answer that.
That's a tough question. All right. Are you ready for the last question, Dr. Finkelstein? What is something people learn about you only after it's too late? The true Finkelstein. The Finkelstein.
Nothing. No, I have to be honest about that. I'm pretty much what you see is what you get.